Welcome back to the channel. 3 things in my wardrobe that I can't live without. If you've watched previously, you might know that I'm coming off the back of a very long trip. I went away for a month back to my home country, South Africa. You know how it is though, you need kind of a holiday after the holiday. Am I right? Something happened on the trip where things I feel I already knew were solidified. I thought I'd share them for you here in this little nutshell of 3 things that I feel I absolutely can't live without for my own personal style. And then in touching on the trip, I'll share with you what didn't work and how my packing kind of didn't really serve me. These 3 things will not be the same for everybody. Obviously, these are my own personal choices. This is my personal style. But I hope that through sharing my own story, you might be inspired to dive into yours and figure out what are those things that are quintessentially you, that make you feel good without fail every single time. Number 1 for me, and this was quite surprising because I packed a pair of shoulder pads at the last minute. Shoulder pads is something that I can't live without. Being that I went to the Southern Hemisphere, I'm coming off the back of a winter here in the UK. I was going into warm weather, and that means I can't really make use of my favorite big coats, my big old blazers with a strong shoulder. Having a loose pair of shoulder pads with a safety pin that I can just pin into a garment and pump up a shoulder is a tool that I have been using and that I will absolutely be using through the summer going forward and pretty much forever. It's not about a trend for me. It's not about perfect proportion. It's just about something I feel when there's an element in my outfit that's exaggerated. I just love a strong shoulder. It's so great to use this tool in the summer. This is a lightweight sort of secondhand men's denim shirt. I felt that just putting the shoulder pad in it made me feel a little bit elevated, gave me a bit more confidence, and really made me feel like me. I really felt this element of exaggeration was something I really loved. Continuing the theme of the shoulder pad, but this time in an actual blazer, I obviously knew there'd be chilly moments, you know, a cool evening. In my daily life here in London, I really lean on blazers as things that feel like they just pull my outfits together. They can really make an outfit. Something that's very toned down, like a basic shirt and jeans, popping on a blazer can really lift things up. Instead of packing more casual jackets or something to just keep me warm, a wool jacket or a cotton parka, something along those lines, I knew my outfits were going to be casual anyway, and so the jacket of choice that I took was a blazer. I actually took 2. I took 2 because I knew I wanted to utilize the pieces that I upcycle. I upcycle menswear. I do shirts and blazers and I sell them online on my website. There's a link in the description box if you want to check that out. I knew I wanted to see how these fared against very casual holiday outfits. Pairing them with shorts, pairing them over a dress, wearing them to do very casual activities in casual things, but seeing if I felt comfortable wearing something so tailored, oversized and structured on the top. Turns out it worked so well. If like me, you feel like you need to be or feel your best when you are more dressed up, a little bit more dressy than casual, going on holiday and wearing flat sandals, shorts, t-shirts, that kind of thing can make you feel a bit low. I really find that then juxtaposing that with something tailored, dressy and oversized is exactly the middle ground that I want all my outfits to play in. Not having any other casual jackets other than the denim shirts I mentioned before meant that I had to wear these if I was feeling cold. On the days when I needed to wear a jacket, it worked so well. I felt amazing. It worked for a casual dinner. It worked to go sightseeing. It worked for my airport look. I actually had someone stop me in the airport at the end of our long flight saying they'd seen me on the stopover in Dubai and was very impressed by my airport look and thought I was the coolest person she had ever seen. Her words, not mine. So I guess I'm saying don't limit yourself. Don't assume that something that reads a certain way is for that exactly. You can absolutely pair things together that are totally contrasting and have them work seamlessly and actually make your outfit super interesting and super cool. This one is a goodie and ties into some things that didn't actually work on my trip. I, as I said, rework shirts and blazers. I took, I think, 4 rework shirts with me on this trip. When I didn't want to spend too much time planning an outfit, I knew that if I put one of these on, I would feel good. The reason why is because I think oversized men's shirts are a great casual item and they work all year round, all seasons, for all occasions. They can read casual, they can read dressy. They're a smart choice in a wardrobe, or if you're packing for a trip. I really feel like though, it's the added design elements that I add into the garments that make me feel like myself. It feels like I'm showing a little bit of my creativity on the outside. And it's not necessarily that anyone needs to pick up on that. It's that I know it's there and I can go confidently about my day. It just makes me feel creative and clever and a little bit different. It also allows me to wear these pieces in lots of different ways. I even discovered a whole new way to wear one of my shirts. I tied it into 2 knots on the one day. Just this playful experimentation was really refreshing, especially knowing that I was wearing the same things over and over and yet still feeling so excited to make outfits with them. So to sum this little section up, I'm basically saying that even when I'm on holiday, even when I try and be a little bit more casual, beachy, more effortless, I think my personal style just rings true. I can't veer away from the fact that I like to be a little bit dressed up, relying on a shoulder pad for structure, relying on a tailored piece like a blazer in an oversized men's silhouette that makes me feel bold and confident, relying on a creative design detail in a classic garment like a shirt. Basically, my city garments were the ones that I wore the most, even though I was on holiday. Now, moving on to things that didn't work. To my previous point, while I have stated that this was a wonderful realization, I was not thinking this way prior to the trip. And I think I had this fantasy idea of myself on holiday, and I really just wanted to lean into these summery tops. I rarely wear a tight fitting top. I rarely have my arms on show. It's not that I have body issues. I just feel like skin is prime opportunity to dress it with fashion, and it's an opportunity to play with clothes. So I'm generally more covered up. But I hadn't been on holiday in a long time, and I just thought, this is my hour. This is the time where I'm gonna come into this fantasy me. It's gonna work seamlessly together, and I'm so great at styling that I'm gonna make this work. So I purchased 2 tops prior to going on the trip. I actually purchased a 3rd one that I didn't even wear. I know, bad, very bad. I purchased 2 tops, and each of them I wore once. On each occasion, I felt really great. Like, I legitimately did like the look, but I'll be honest, I didn't feel that comfortable. I missed having something oversized on my body. I didn't like that I had something tight fitting on. They were a bit fussy. Having a one shoulder piece or an off the shoulder piece was less than comfortable. I felt like I looked great and I felt great, but I was adjusting the whole day, which I'm not sure is in keeping with the element that I favor most in my personal style, and that is to obviously try hard but look like it's all effortless. I'm gonna keep these tops in my wardrobe, obviously. I'm not starting them on. I might pack 1 or 2 if I go on another trip in the future and keep them as my holiday tops. You know, I've satisfied that need, scratched that itch, let's say. So the next time I go on a trip and I'm feeling like I want to do this, I'm gonna have to somehow prompt myself to rewatch my own video and just stay in check and remember that I know what I like. I don't need to lean into this fantasy version of myself. It's not me. I don't feel like my best self wearing these things. Another thing I wouldn't do again that definitely didn't work is I took so much jewelry. I have a lot of statement jewelry that I've collected over time, whether that's vintage pieces, pieces that are hand-me-downs from family, or things that I've bought from brands that I love. I don't really make that much use out of it in my everyday life. Somehow I thought that I was gonna be this very big earring person and wear all these accessories on holiday. Truth is, again, we don't change just because we're in a different location. I'm not suddenly inclined to suddenly start wearing a lot of jewelry. Like maybe once or twice a week I wear a bold earring. So maybe I should have just taken 1 or 2 pairs instead of like 10. Literally, I was lugging around this bag of jewelry and I really didn't need to. I just didn't use it. And in the same way, I look at my wardrobe and hate looking at things that I'm not getting use out of, that kind of bug me and confuse me when I'm planning my outfits. I felt this way about my accessories. I felt guilty on holiday that I bought them all that way and that I wasn't wearing them. My final point, and one thing that didn't really work, was that I wished I had done more outfit planning. I think I said in my packing video that I didn't want an outfit plan and I just wanted to pack a really nice capsule. And I tried on a few outfits prior to going on to the trip. I wore some of them or versions of those, just switching a few things out. But really, I wish I had planned like 7 outfits. And then if I'd wanted to, in the following weeks, I was away for 3.5 weeks, almost 4. In the following weeks, I then could have repeated them or switched things out, but at least I would have had that starting pack, let's say. And this ties into the whole reason for making these videos and the direction I'm taking this channel in, is that I really want to lean on outfit planning and see so much value in it. I don't see my love for fashion ever slowing down. I never want to stop being creative and wearing fabulous things. I love this stuff so much, but it is a drain. It is a drain on my day to be confused about what to wear or to feel like your wardrobe is lacking. When we feel like we can't put a look together, we feel less than. We feel like we need new things. And it's this mindset, this constant churning of, is it me? Is it my wardrobe? Do I need something new? Why am I feeling this way? A lot of it is mental. If I had planned some outfits, I could have eliminated a lot of that popping up on my trip, because I did feel some mornings I was frustrated. I wanted to get out the place earlier to go enjoy my holiday. I want to spend more time in the moment. And don't get me wrong, I did. It wasn't that dramatic, but I want to get more efficient at this stuff. I really think there is a way to find balance between looking effortlessly creative and put together and developing our personal style while still not spending too much time on it. And basically the answer is spending time on it, but in a condensed format prior to the thing. That is my holiday roundup. Those are the 3 things that didn't work so well, and the 3 things I figured out I absolutely can't live without in my wardrobe that kind of just reaffirmed to me some things I already knew about my personal style. If you have any tips or favorite things that you absolutely can't live without in your wardrobe, they might inspire someone else. Drop them in the comments below. I'd love to read about that. I'll see you for another video soon.